Hello and welcome back to 10 Minutes of Astrology. My name is Shay. I'm your favorite person in the world. And today we are going to be talking about Jupiter in Libra from 2040 to 2041. So we're almost done with this Jupiter series up to 2046. I may or may not do a few more videos after that. And then I'm going to go back to the Mars series and continue on from there. So, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I like to see a really big picture and then focus in on the details. So, if you go to my page on my channel, go to playlists and look for Shay's astrology predictions to 2046. You'll see all of the videos that I've done up until this point. Forgive the Pluto video. I was in a different headspace. I know it's really hard to get through double speeded. If you have to, I would remake it, but I just don't want to. Anyway, I don't have that much time, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Remember, when I get to 5,000 subscribers, you will receive, maybe not you, but I'm going to do a drawing for this bookmark. It was handmade by me. Yes, this is a real 4-leaf clover because I collect 4-leaf clovers and turn them into bookmarks, and I want to do a giveaway. So I'm going to give this bookmark away at 5,000 subscribers or followers or whatever. You can also hit me up on Facebook, Insta, and let's get started so that I am not keeping you from your information. Now, all of this and more, the notes are going to be in the housekeeping in the comments if I have any more to add to this. Approximately August 6, 2040, depending on where you live, is when Jupiter is going to go into Libra. Jupiter, for those of you who don't know, who haven't been following along, is the planet of expansion, luck, architecture to a degree, more the creativity side of it, and like the brainstorming. It is higher education, so you have your college, your not so much trades, but the education to get a trade, things like that. Now, it is comfortable in Libra. Libra is balance. It's the scales. It's air, so it's very mindful and it is relationship oriented, not necessarily romance specifically, but all relationships. Now, one of the first things that happens is a inconjunct. What is an inconjunct? An inconjunct is an irritating aspect. It's not quite right. It doesn't sit well with us. Neptune in Taurus at approximately 5 degrees. Now, Neptune is the ethereal in Taurus. It is stubbornness, stability, values. So right now we are inconjunct. Well, Jupiter in Libra is like this big relational expansion. We're, growing not just our inner circle, but and by this time, I believe there will already have been alien contact. So it may be like our ability to communicate on a larger scale with the universe type of thing. Then this is in conjunct Neptune. So that is our values in Taurus, and our spiritual values are just like it doesn't, something is not sitting right with how we're communicating with the larger world, how the larger world is communicating with us on a spiritual level. We feel very like we're trapping a bull in a corner. So please be very careful. Now, earth signs, this may throw you off. This may kind of like jolt you in a way that you aren't prepared for, especially mentally, because Libra is a mental sign. And Jupiter is very erratic, so it's going to come on very rapidly. And I don't want you to be too jarred. So that's why I'm specifically Taurus. Now, Libra can also be affected by this in the reverse, because you may have thought that you had your spirituality and your values like set and in place and all right, we're good to go. And now it's shifting in a way that feels more balanced, but there's still something off about it. So Libra too, you may be feeling uncomfortable spiritually. Now we have a sextile between Uranus and Leo. Uranus and Leo is a very lovely place, in my opinion. I know that Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, so technically it's opposite. But because Leo is so positive and holds so much energy, and Uranus is electric and has a lot, I still feel like it works in a different way. Now, these are going to be sextiles. Sextiles are beautiful. They're nice. They're easy. So with this electric, happy, love, fun vibe meets the balance of the broader scale, it is really magical. And then Jupiter conjuncts Saturn at 16 degrees in approximately October of 2040. Now, Saturn does not like being here. It's very uncomfortable. But Jupiter can kind of ease that. This is, for what it's worth, a very good alignment, or at least that's how I'm going to interpret things, because I try to interpret most things positively because I want to live in a nice world. You put out y'all know the law of attraction. Anywho, then Jupiter squares Chiron in Cancer. Chiron is the wounded healer. And a reminder, I'm not going to talk about planets that I've not already made videos about. These are only about planets that I've already talked about. In Cancer, Chiron in Cancer is wounds with the mother. It's wounds with nurturing and trying to heal that in others, even though you struggle with it. So with this being square, something really big is going to come out of the framework, something really unbalanced, more than likely. And that unbalance, that quickness is going to affect that relationship or affect how you're dealing with it. And vice versa, how you're handling these emotions about these specific wounds may impact on a much larger scale that you may not realize in that moment, that's popping off. So water signs, specifically Cancer, you are going to have to, again, learn emotional regulation. During this moment, it's, again, at approximately 16 degrees. Be mindful of where that falls in your chart, and don't explode emotionally, especially right now, because it may create more waves that tsunami that comes back is not worth the emotions that you want to pass out right now. So please be mindful. If you want to get more bees with honey, be mindful of your words and speak intelligently, because that's how you're going to get Libra on your side. And I'm biased against Libra, so I'm not even going to give y'all any advice, because y'all wouldn't take it anyway. You would argue with it on both. Even if I gave you the opposite of that advice, that you would take both sides, no matter what I say, and turn it around. And so I'm not going to bother. Then we have Saturn in Libra square Chiron in Cancer. This squares are very, very difficult, very hard. They're the hardest aspect, in my opinion. It's painful. So there's going to be some pain. Then Jupiter in Libra trines Pluto in Aquarius. Trines are beautiful. They're nice. They're easy. It all is working. So trines in astrology, think of the Holy Trinity. Yes, it's perfect. So basically your balanced communication, or your balanced big scale luck, is going to meet the greater good, the transformation of the whole of society. Magic is going to happen. It's going to be beautiful. But this time is also a time of building into something a lot more stressful that is coming on the way. Again, that's part of the reason why I give things so much in advance, is to give you a heads up for at least my lifetime. I'm not going to do it past my lifetime. I feel like 2046 to 2050 is going to be towards the end of my era. So that's why I'm doing it up until this point. I just, there's some things I don't want to be around for, and I'm going to leave it at that. I know that I'm already past my 10 minutes, so I'm going to quickly go through the rest of this and then I'll let you go. So in January of 2041, Jupiter goes into Scorpio. Shortly after, it goes retrograde at 1 degree of Scorpio. Any alignments that happen during this time, I will talk about in my Scorpio video. Then Saturn goes retrograde in Libra March 4th, approximately 2041. Jupiter goes and retrogrades back into Libra. And then we again trine Pluto at 28 degrees. Saturn and Chiron again are square at 18 degrees. That's approximately May of 2041. Then things start happening really fast. Jupiter squares Chiron again at 21 degrees. So that's approximately June. In August, Chiron inconjuncts Pluto at approximately 27 degrees. So again, your emotions that are really raw and that haven't been healed when it comes to things in the home, with family, with things that are deeply, deeply personal to you, that's going to affect how larger society and how you interact with it and how it interacts with you. Then we have Neptune square Uranus. This is a giant square. So Neptune in Taurus, I've already talked about. Uranus in Leo, I've already talked some about. So these two are going to be square, really hard, really difficult for our creativity, for our spirituality. These are going to be the times where the kids that are born are going to put the death of spirituality into their artwork. And then let's see. Again in August, Jupiter trines Pluto one more time. Then Chiron goes into Leo, and then Jupiter officially goes into Scorpio. I so appreciate your watching. Please remember to press all the buttons. People don't press enough buttons, so do that. I'd show you a kitty, but I think they're napping. Anyway, peace out, fam. Much love. Bye.